I hope you are using our so blog, right? A blog and
YouTube channel.
YouTube channel.
Yes.
Okay, good. So there is a SDLC models will be there here. So here you can find our so okay. So what is Agile testing? So what is Agile methodology? And so before understanding that, let's understand what is Agile testing. So Agile methodology means what? So Agile methodology is, if you understand, okay, so before this, I need to explain first waterfall methodology. So waterfall methodology is, it's a linear approach where you will, so get first all the requirements, then so coding will start, then testing. Once coding is completed, then only testing will takes place. That's the waterfall model approach. It's a lengthy process, right? It takes months to release the product. So that's a very slow and very late process. Basically, that waterfall model is used for products. So you need more time to test, then people will go for waterfall model. And also you should have the requirements clear in so advance before starting the development. You should have a clear requirements. Once you start the work, you cannot modify the application. That's not possible with waterfall model. So each phase first has to finish, then next phase will start. So step by step we have seen, right? Already requirements gathering, analysis, design, coding, testing, right? First step by step, phase by phase it has to finish. Then only the other step will start. So there is no parallelism here. So that's the waterfall model. That's a linear approach or waterfalls. You know waterfalls, right? From top to bottom, it will fall down. Same way, the activity is also carried out from so from top first phase to till last phase, one after the other, one after the other. So that's the drawback of this no waterfall model. First, you should have clear requirements, and you cannot do parallelly the activities, and you have to wait no till coding complete, then only testing will start. And so also once you start the work and no uh, they won't allow requirements change. So you have to finish that entire process. Then next iteration, you will take up the requirement changes. That's the waterfall model methodology, the process, how it works. So that is nowadays people doesn't like that, right? They want, a product or, a feature quickly. So that is so where Agile methodology came into picture. So Agile methodology is basically both the development and testing activities will be done simultaneously. So in the software development lifecycle process, you don't need to wait for development. You don't to know. So wait for a particular task. It has to be done. So independently you can perform your task and developer will perform developer tasks. So so it will go simultaneous. That's the agile process. So to basically it will deliver the product or feature within a weeks, not in months. So basically we have a 2 weeks sprint period. So in 2 weeks, you will get one feature, or 3 weeks. So it depends on the company, the feature, and how much complexity it is there. Based on that, it will be so developed. That's the agile process. So if you see agile, basically, I'll come back to these things. Let me show you first who are all involved in this agile process. And so I want to show you the entire diagram first. So these are all the agile methodology, waterfall methodology. And let me show you agile process directly. Okay. So that's what I was telling, right? Agile is a methodology or approach. So it promotes continuous iteration of development and testing throughout the software development lifecycle of the project. So basically, continuously, so development and testing will be carried out. So in the SDLC process. So both the development and testing activities are concurrent. You don't need to wait for other. And when you are testing the applications in the agile approach, so you will perform the testing activities. So different, I'll explain what are the testing activities, how you will perform. So in the agile methodology, there are different approaches are there. So one of them is Scrum methodology. So very famous Scrum approach. Agile is a one methodology. In that there are different types. Scrum. So and modularized one more will be there. Like that we have different approaches will be there. But very famous one is a Scrum approach. The Scrum is one of the Agile methodology approach. So basically which concentrates. So within a given time period, so how effectively you can finish the tasks. So that is called a Scrum approach. So Scrum is basically derived from rugby match where a group of people will be there. So they have to, uh, take the ball to the target, right? So all the obstacles they will overcome and they will reach the target. So that's here also similar approach. You might get a lot of obstacles, but still you will move. So at the end of the sprint, you have to finish your activities. So that's the Scrum approach. So in the Scrum approach, you have people. So this is the entire Scrum approach in one diagram. And if you understand this, it's done. So whenever a Scrum process starts, right? So now the approach before starting this, so there is one more concept. Plan iteration is there. So plan iteration means, so in the company, what are all the teams are there? All the team members will be participated and given demos by the Scrum Master. What are all the tasks for the next 3 months? What they're going to target? That will be explained in the plan iteration. So what is that? So plan iteration is, first plan iteration will happen. There will be many teams will be there. Okay. Plan iteration, this is also called PI. So in this PI, so you will have a lot of things, okay? A lot of teams will be there. So many teams will be there. So team 1, team 2, and team 3, and team 4. Like that, you have so many teams, okay? So each team, they will perform a task. So they will explain, the Scrum Master will explain. So how many what is the capacity of the entire Scrum team, and how many user stories you are targeting. So what in the PA planning meeting, what they will explain? Scrum team A. Let me write this. Scrum A. Okay, Scrum team. So Scrum team A. So similar, Scrum team B. Scrum team C. Scrum team D. So like this, how many teams are there? How many Scrum teams are there? Like that. So all the Scrum teams, they will explain the here all the higher management also will be there in this PA planning meeting. So first this PA planning meeting will happen. So they will tell, okay, so I have so 3 months. So user stories will be targeted. So they will tell, okay, I have so 5 features, and I have maybe 200 story points. So like this, they will target like this. Or 200, I'm giving more, but it will be realistic. Okay, so they will explain. So what are all the capacity? The capacity they will tell. So what is the capacity of this Scrum team? So it will be discussed in this. What are the user stories, no requirements you are going to target for the next 3 months? So that will be explained by each and every team, and one team after other team will keep reading their plan for the next 3 months. Okay, so that's the this plan iteration. So each Scrum team is going to have again developers, testers will be involved. Each Scrum team contains developers and testers. A Scrum team is nothing but both development and testing team. Combinedly, we call it one Scrum team. So that is the plan iteration will happen first. Once plan iteration is done, and they will tell what are all the user stories each Scrum team is going to take care. So who is targeting which features? You can listen in this meeting. So they'll invite entire company, all high-level project management and directors, vice presidents, everybody will be here. Product owners, scrum masters, all the team members, everybody will participate in this PA planning meeting. So plan iteration, every 3 months plan iteration will happen. Is this clear? That's the first process in the Agile methodology. So every company follows now Agile only. Are you clear or any doubts? Are we clear?
Uh, okay.
Okay.
You can ask if you have any questions.
So are we going to define the story points and the features?
That will come. That will come. Okay. So we are still at the beginning. That will come. Okay. Let's go to the first. Okay. So this diagram. So now once that is done, then it will come here. So there, the product owner is the crucial person, as I already mentioned in the last class, who is going to get all the requirements, and he will list out all the features or requirements or user stories. Requirements is nothing but a user story. A feature is a big feature. A feature can contain multiple user stories. Multiple user stories. So user stories is small. For example, a login feature, one user story. Registration, one user story. Online payment, one user story. So that's the user story is a one small requirement. So that will be targeted for a particular sprint. So that will be all listed out by this product owner. So what is the product owner responsibility? So he will list out all the features and requirements or user stories in a product backlog. So in a product backlog is nothing but a repository where you can find all the features and user stories. So they will be arranged in the order. So that's the product owner responsibility. Is this clear first part? What is meant by product backlog and who will fill this product backlog? And so what will be there here? Are you all clear?
Can you repeat it with example?
So a product backlog is nothing but a repository. Like you will find them in the Jira tool, or you will find them in the Rally tool. The upcoming feature, what you want to develop, that will be listed out here by the product owner. So he will rank, okay, which one first needs to be delivered. He will list out here and he will move the order, which feature he wants first to the market or to the client, which is most important. They will know based on the importance, they will prioritize that. The prioritization will be done by this product owner. And he will arrange all of them like this, each user story like this. A feature can contain more user stories. A feature may contain many user stories. The relation also you should understand. Are you all clear on this part? As I mentioned already, login scenario, online payment, registration, add to cart, search. These are all the different user stories. Again, login scenario means you have again steps. You have to write a lot of steps. That will come as a test cases. So each user story, you will write the test case, so positive and negative test case. So that I will discuss later. But as of now, you just understand that. Are you clear? The first point.
Yes.
Okay. So once this he has done, the first meeting will happen after a plan iteration within that sprint, the scrum team, particular scrum team will be there, right? As I mentioned, so many scrum teams, but one particular scrum team, they will have one meeting, sprint plan meeting. So in the sprint plan meeting, they will decide which user story will be assigned to which team member, which scrum team. That means which developer. For example, login, I want to give it to Janani. Or registration, I want to give it to Rajeshwari. Or so next online payment, I want to give it to Bhargavi. And so add to cart, I want to give it to Venkatesh. So like that, it will be assigned to each user story to one team member. Is this clear? That's what decided here in the sprint planning meeting. Are we good? Sprint planning meeting, what will happen? And also, same sprint planning meeting, they will ask, okay, how many user stories you want to develop this or to work on this task, to complete this task. Developer will give you developer user story points. Story points is nothing but to complete that user story successfully, how many hours you need. That measurement, work measurement is done by the story points. The story points are given based on the complexity of user story, how complex it is. So is it a high, medium, low? Based on this complexity levels, the user stories will be given. So, sir, how do we know that complexity? So your product architect will, or tech lead will be there, right? Tech lead will explain you about that user story. Tech lead will explain you about that user story. So what you need to do, how you need to test, everything he will explain. He or she will explain. That time, they will ask you how many user stories you want. Now you will understand, right? When they are explaining what is the complexity, you will come to know. Based on the complexity, you will give, for example, it is going to take entire sprint. Sprint means 2 weeks generally. So sprint means a time iteration. Iteration of time is called a sprint. That's a one iteration. One iteration means 2 weeks. So 2 weeks time frame is called a sprint. That's a first day. Today, the starting day, sprint planning meeting will happen. Sprint, what is meant by sprint? A time iteration. That is 2 weeks time period is called one sprint. In that one sprint, what task can be performed by the Scrum team? Scrum team means development and testing. Both will be there in the Scrum team. The people won't call separately QA team and development team. The Scrum team means based on the developer ratio, so tester will be there. So 3:1, 3 developers, 1 tester will be there, like that. Or 4 developers, 1, like that. They will, based on the work and that ratio they will maintain. If more work is there, they will add another person, a tester. But testers always, less testers will be there. Okay. So that's the sprint planning meeting, what will happen. So basically, sprint planning meeting, they will assign the tasks, assign the user stories from, they will take from here, user stories. Where the user stories will be there? Product backlog. In the product backlog, they will take one by one and assign to the development and testing team. So developer user stories will be there, tester user stories will be there. Both will be there in the product backlog. You won't work on the same user story that the developer is working. No. Developer user story is different. For the same development work, you have another user story for testing also.
The Scrum Master is going to define.
Yeah, the product owner. Scrum Master and product owner both will decide, and they will tell, okay, testing team also, we need that separately, we need to log their efforts. So that user story is available in the product backlog for testing team also. And that will be assigned to a particular tester.
So in case if they did not have any user stories for this current sprint, so the tester should ask them or else like.
Yeah, we should ask them, okay, so what is the work for me? Scrum Master will assign some work and he will create some user story and assign that. Maybe you are a new joiner, so you will they will give you setup. Okay, set up the environments, installations. So something they will give you and they will track that amount of work you have done also. So that's what how it will be taken these user stories from product backlog to and sprint planning meeting day and assigned to each team member. So both the scrum master and the product owner and other team members also will be there and it will be assigned to all of them. Then at the same time, if you are not clear about the user story points, how many story points you have to give? Story points is nothing but how much effort you need to spend to complete that task or that user story. That is called story points. Generally, will you use a Fibonacci series to give these story points? 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. That's a story points how you will give. 1 means immediately you will finish it, maybe 1 or 2 hours. 2 means maybe 1 day. 3 means maybe you will take 2 days. 5 means maybe 3-4 days you need. 38 means it's a bigger one. Maybe you'll take 5 days or 6 days, something like that. And 13 means a very big one. That's a very big user story. So you need entire sprint, 2 weeks you need. That's the 13 user story points if you give. So it depends on the company to company, the story points definition will, but again, the Fibonacci series is common. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 13. This is the order. This is the story points how you will give. These numbers doesn't change. The definition will change. Okay. 1 story point means how many hours you need to finish. 2 story point means how many hours you need to finish. So that company to company will vary, but the story points are common across the globe. Is this clear? Sprint planning meeting, what will happen? They will take the user stories from product backlog and assign to development and testing team, or you can say simply Scrum team. Instead of saying separately for the Scrum team. And in that, if you know the complexity of the user story, and you can give the story points there itself. You can ask, you have a right to ask, can you explain about this user story, what it talks, what it is going, what we need to do as part of this user story. You can ask, they will explain, because product owner will be there in the meeting and Scrum Master and some other technical team will be there. And they will give you an idea to you what you are going to do as part of this user story.
Okay.
Then you'll get some idea. Based on that idea, you will give the user story points. Story points you will give. Okay, how complex you will analyze immediately. Even if you are not clear, you can tell that. Later, if you give high, you need to give a justification why you're giving more. If you're giving a less, you have to justify later. Okay, I have given less story points, but it is more complex. So we need to increase the story points. Then you can talk to Scrum Master. Scrum Master will increase the story points later also. So once this sprint planning meeting is done, then so sprint backlog meeting will happen. So breakout session we call this. The backlog nowadays nobody calling. This is the breakout session we call this. The breakout session is nothing but the user story assigned to each team member, right? That will be break into different tasks. Maybe that is a bigger, you will do smaller tasks you will assign. That's the breakout session will happen. Okay. So once that breakout session is happen, so then you will start understanding these user stories and Scrum Master will conduct a daily meeting that is called daily scrum meeting, daily stand-up meeting, daily scrum meeting or daily stand-up meeting, or DSM means daily scrum meeting, daily stand-up meeting. Okay, so that's the meeting. Every day you have just 15 minutes only, it will be there, 15 or half an hour maximum, max half an hour. Okay, but what you will talk in this daily scrum meeting? So 3 points you need to talk. What you have done yesterday, what you are going to do today. Do you have any blockers? Do you have any impediments? That is what this Scrum Master one by one, you will ask each team member, because there is a board. In the board, your name will come. When the Scrum Master select your name, and it will list out all the tasks assigned to you in the board, storyboard. Scrum board we call that. Or Agile board people will call, Scrum board, different names will be there, but all are same. Once he points you, okay, so particular person, he will call, okay, what is the status? He will ask what is the status. You have to talk, you have to speak in the meetings. That's very, very important. What you have done yesterday, you need to tell, okay, yesterday, okay, you did, right? You read and explained the application architecture, SDLC. You need to talk. Okay, yesterday I have gone through SDLC process and application architecture, and I have so explained to you. That's the today I'll go through the agile process. That's the one you need to tell. Or if you have any blockers means you are not able to perform the task that assigned to you. You have to bring it to Scrum Master. So notice. Or immediately when you block, immediately you have to inform Scrum Master or your manager. That's important. So that's the daily Scrum meeting, which is used to take the status of the each team member. So daily will be there. That's the another meeting. Here, sprint planning meeting is one agile ceremony. Breakout session is another ceremony. Daily scrum meeting is another ceremony, agile ceremony. And after last day, before ending of the sprint review meeting will happen. Sprint review meeting means they will assess how much you have completed. Is it going to be finished by tomorrow? That, so they will ask here, sprint review meeting. So they will analyze your story. Where is your story? Is it in the completed state or it is still in progress, and how much work is pending, how much is completed? They will each and every user story assigned to the team members will be reviewed here in this sprint review meeting. If anything pending, then if you can finish by tomorrow, it's okay. If not finished, they will move that to next sprint. Why you haven't finished? They will ask, what is the reason why you haven't finished all this? You have to give a justification. So there is a solid reason is there, they will move. Scrum Master will move that user story to next sprint. He will log, okay, how many hours you worked in this sprint, and remaining how much work pending, and how many user stories you want. He will again adjust the continuation of this user story, they will mention. So that is the sprint review meeting will be decided. Then final, whoever finished, they have to give a demo on the final day. 15 days, right? In the 15th day, you have to give a demo of the product that you worked. So on that, you have to give a demo to all the team members, and all again, everybody will participate. Directors, vice presidents, everybody will participate here. to take the demos because new feature is coming, right? So they will participate and they will give you reviews also. They will ask questions also. That's the demo day, the final day.
In sprint review, so in case you said like, if we do not, we need to provide some justification. So
Hmm.
what kind of justification, like,
Why you are not able to finish?
okay.
So how much you finished? What is stopping you? What stopped you to no complete that task? So you have to give that justification. Why you are not able to finish on time? So still how much time you need? So that you have to. So this sprint they will log how many hours you worked and remaining how many hours you need to finish the complete task. So they will split this user story. For this sprint, they will log one user story. For next sprint, they will report. They will report one more user story for the continuation. So that's how it will be moved. One if there is a spanning, one user story spanning between two sprints. So they will create another user story for the next sprint also, same task for the same task. And last one, final agile ceremony is sprint retrospection meeting will happen. Sprint retrospection meeting means, okay, what went well, what went wrong, any improvement areas are there, or so all this, each person you can give your points. Maybe some persons helped you. You can give a applaud to that person. Or you help it to some other person will give you applaud to you. Or any process is not good, or some requirements is not clear. So that all points you can talk here. So there is a retro board will be there. You will write all the points, all the team members' points. That will be shared to management also. It will be available to all. That's a retro board or sprint retrospective meeting. So these are all the meetings. It will happen in the every sprint. So from planning, breakout session, daily scrum meeting, review meeting, demo, and retrospection meeting. These are all the agile ceremonies.